I've always been the kind of woman who believed in building, not breaking. In working through problems, not walking away from them. I guess that's why I stayed with Daniel for as long as I did, even after I knew. Even after I saw it all with my own eyes. Let me start from the beginning. Daniel and I met in our mid. He was charming, ... like really charming. The kind of man who remembered your coffee order before your name, who made you feel like you were the only one in the room. He wasn't just good looking, he was confident, successful, magnetic. He swept me off my feet. We got married 2 years after we met. I was a young attorney, working 60-hour weeks. Daniel ran a residential contracting business, and money was never tight. We bought a house in the suburbs, threw dinner parties, smiled in every picture. To everyone on the outside, we were coupley goals, but behind closed doors, the cracks began to show. It started small, missed dinners, more late nights, a phone that never left his hand. He was still sweet, sometimes, but I could feel him drifting. And then one afternoon, he left his iPad on the kitchen counter while he took a call outside. Unlocked. I didn't go looking. I swear I didn't. I just tapped the screen and there it was, his messages. Dozens of photos, explicit ones, hotel bookings, a woman named Kendra, and just like that, the world I thought I lived in vanished. I could have confronted him, cried, thrown his clothes onto the lawn, but instead, I sat at the dining table, hands shaking, and I thought, if I blow up now, he walks away with half. He walks away with her. He wins. That was the moment I changed. I didn't want to fight. I wanted a victory. From that day on, I played the game. I smiled when he walked in. I kissed him goodnight. I asked him about work. I even initiated sex again just to make him think things were improving. He thought I was trying harder. Reconnecting, I was documenting everything. I started managing our finances again, slowly, casually moving money into separate trusts. Opening personal accounts in my maiden name, I hired a private investigator and collected photos, phone records, GPS logs, of everything. But there was one more step. Daniel always insisted we use protection. No kids, not yet, so I started poking. Tiny, undetectable holes in the condoms. He didn't notice, and I waited. 3 months later, Daniel came home white as a ghost. Kendra's pregnant, he mumbled. She said, it's mine. But we used protection. I don't get it. I nodded. Wow, that's a lot. He stared at me, expecting a meltdown. Instead, I took his hand and said, we'll figure it out. Together, he cried. The fool actually cried. Over the next few months, I helped him figure out how to be a dad without telling anyone. I insisted we keep it secret from our families. To protect you, I told him. What I was really doing. Waiting for the baby to be born and for him to sign that birth certificate. The moment I got confirmation the baby was his, I struck. I filed for divorce the next week. I served him at work, in front of his employees. I took my time gathering the case, and when I walked into court, I had everything. Proof of his adultery, evidence of financial misconduct, testimony from our investigator, screenshots, emails, text messages with timestamps. Tried to spin it. Tried to say I was controlling. Cold, distant. But the judge saw through him. So did the lawyers. Because of his infidelity and my airtight case, Our prenup was voided. I walked away with full custody of our dog, full ownership of the house, the majority of our joint assets, a portion of his business shares, and a monthly alimony for 7 years. He was left with child support, legal fees, and a newborn with a woman who didn't even like him, just liked the idea of a paycheck. Now, I run my own legal firm, specializing in divorce and asset protection for women only. Daniel is still in the suburbs, working overtime, trying to keep up with 2 households. He and Kendra argue constantly. I know, because a friend of a friend sees them at the grocery store. Sometimes, people ask if I regret not confronting him sooner, if I regret playing the long game. And to that, I say this. He planned his affair for a year. I planned his collapse for 3. One of us won, and it wasn't him. I don't tell this story to brag. I tell it because women are too often told to move on, be the bigger person, or let it go. But some betrayals deserve justice. Some lies need to be burned down properly. And the best revenge is the kind you don't have to scream about. Because the silence after the storm is where the real power lies.